All right, so I have some updates regarding the push button. This is the current state. As you can see, it's obviously 3D printed. The speaker is right now outside, but later on, obviously, it will go inside, but just for development purposes. And for those who don't know, this is basically a push button, right? That your pet will use, and then just pushes the button and then emits sounds. Let me just show you a little bit up close how it looks. So this is how it looks. As you can see, it's 3D printed. But this will not be the final material or form. The shape is locked, currently it's locked. We're just making small improvements into this. These are the connectors. So these connectors will be for basically interconnecting multiple of this. And then every time you press, your pet presses one, then it will emit the sound and then trigger multiple effects across the different buttons. The other thing is, let me show you how it will look, hopefully. And so these are some renders. As you can see, simulating. I have different materials. So this is more transparent one. This is white and transparent on the top. And it is that it has slight effects, right? Every time the pet pushes the button, then it basically makes sounds, and then also different light effects. So I have different renders with different type of materials here. And yeah, this is how it basically looks. I'll be showing you the latest updates, mainly on the firmware. So I was able to get the, let me just disable this, the Hall sensor to basically detect the range, which is very cool. So I'll be showing you that in a bit. And this is how it looks within the inside. This is the spring mechanism that goes in here. And then those this little thing in here, which is the magnet. What you see here is in the middle is a magnet. And then when it gets close to this little sensor in here, it detects how close it is from the sensor, which is pretty cool. I'll be showing that in a bit. So yeah, this is the magnet. And yeah, let me just show you. This is the speaker right now. It's outside, connected to this connector, but just for development purposes. But let me just connect this to the Type-C that I have in here. There you go. And then let me just turn this on. So let's wait until it boots up. And I'll be showing you now this. So we have here, it's basically a magnet. So it just boot up. And then every time that I put this close, you will see that it will activate. So this is, remember, it's a magnet. See, it detected the magnet now. And then it created a light effect, and then it makes the sound, right? Right now it's a beep just for testing and debugging purposes, right? But it's really, really, really accurate, as you can see. So let me just show you here in the interface how this looks. So let me just put this aside. This is basically the web interface. And then let me show you what happens when I get this closer. You see that it basically starts increasing. So let me show you here to the left, because it's going to the North Pole right now. You see? The closer that I put this to the sensor, the more that it detects, right? You see? So basically, right now it's detecting the North Pole, but the sensor is really crazy. Because now I'm going to flip the magnet, and then you will see that now it will detect the South Pole, you see? So now it's detecting the South Pole. And then basically what I did is in here, so I have some thresholds where I can set, and then as soon as it goes to those thresholds, then it will emit the sound. So just to give you an example, right now, basically I have it. So it basically detects both the North and South Pole at the same time. So just to show you that, let me just apply the changes here in the UI and then show you. So just pay attention to the UI once it reaches to that particular threshold that I set, and then it will emit the sound. See, now it emitted the sound because I passed that threshold. So that's pretty cool because then I can set in the firmware how far I want the activation to happen. So that's the first cool thing. So let me just put everything together and then show you how accurate it is right now. All right, so I have put things back together. So now let me show you within the interface. So now you see it's detecting a little bit, right? It's detecting a bit the magnet. And then when I push this further, you see that's the maximum it detects. But you see this travel is really huge for maybe for a tiny pet, because we're doing a lot of movement, right? Ideally, we just want the pet to do something like this and then activates, right? Right now it's not activating because the threshold is right here, right? That yellow line is basically the threshold, and then we're not reaching there, right? So the sensor is only going up to here, right? So if you wanted to emit sound, or you need to reach that threshold, right? So basically what we do is in the interface, we just make it closer, right? Let's say somewhere here. We apply the changes, and then looks what happens now. Now we're reaching that, right? So that's why then it's able to then emit the sound, because basically we're emitting that threshold. But look, we need to basically do this whole movement until it detects, right? So maybe tiny pets like a Chihuahua or Pomeranian, or maybe even a bird might not be able to do this or have that force to apply, all that to put it down, right? So then what we do? So the beauty is that then you will be able to, in the app, configure this. So you see what I'm doing? I'm bringing the threshold really close to almost where it is. So that way, let me show you what happens. So I'm going to apply. And then look what happens now. As soon as I do a small movement, you see? Just barely touch it. And then emits the sound, right? So that's the beauty of that sensor. So it's really accurate. So, and just to show you how it works is, let me just change here the type of sound that emits. So for something like, and then also the effect. So let me apply the changes, and then obviously this will be a sound, right? So like food, or in Spanish, comidita. So yeah, so this is great news. And I also added a little bit of effects here, which is really cool. So, and yeah, so those are the updates I have right now. I'll be working on next on basically the connectors. So this little thing is here, connect multiple ones and then be able to send data between all of them. So that's the next milestone. And then after that, we're locked, and then we'll be releasing this product, a few units to begin with. And yeah, I'll keep you posted.